Welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. Why? How is everybody? Happy Wednesday. Greetings. Darla's with us today. I made sure. I forced her to be here. I'm just kidding. She wanted to hang out today. And she has her nice little pillow. Feel free to say hello. Let us know who's here. Let us know where you're joining from. If this is your first time, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I live in Northern Illinois. And I come on Insight Timer to talk about astrology. And then we pull oracle cards to see how the energies would like to be utilized. Because nothing is good or bad. Nothing ever happens to us. Everything's happening for us. Let's see who's here today. Chantel says, hi, Jacqui and all. Jacqui says, greetings, lovelies. Yvonne, good morning, Jacqui. So glad I caught your live today. Today's my last live of the month, so I'll talk about that if you haven't heard already. Hi, Bonnie. Christine says, happy Wednesday, peeps. Hi to sweet Darla. Christine says hi. She's passed out. She's done. Michelle, oh, the doggo on the couch. Lori says, hi, everyone. Yvonne, good morning, all from California. Can you send some of that weather this way? Patty says, good morning. Jacqui, good morning. Jean, happy Wednesday. Jacqui says, Insight Timer sounds like it's having that same little glitchy transmission issue. I fully unplugged my mic and I plugged it into a different port in my computer also to try to troubleshoot before this. So I'm gonna assume it's Insight Timer and cross my fingers that it's solved before I come back. Bonnie, what is your name on Insight Timer? Was trying to find the lives. Jacqui, are you talking about the group meditations while I'm gone? Greg says, hi, Jacqui. Woof. All right, let me try something. I made a switch with my audio. Let me know how that sounds. So, Jacqui, thank you for bringing that up. I'll just explain the whole thing for those who don't know. And hi, Greg. I can't remember if I said hi yet. So I'm going to be leaving this afternoon to go to a 10-day silent meditation retreat. I have zero access to technology even meaning a journal. Like, I don't have anything. It's me and my inner self, and I'm so excited. So while I'm gone, because after I come back from that, then I'm going on another trip. So my next Insight Timer is on November 1st. So today we're going to talk about all the way up to November 1st. I'm going to make one more switch with the microphone. I changed one more thing. Let me know if that does anything. While I'm gone, Bonnie, who you guys know, she's here all the time. She just won't leave. She helps me with my group. So it sounded better the first time. That's worse. Cool. And I changed it back. Thank you guys for your patience. So Bonnie has set up a few meditations at this time, 8:15 Central, a few days while I'm gone, so that you all can collaborate and communicate and connect. And that can be found by going into my Insight Timer teacher profile and going into my group. So the group is called Our Spiritual Community. Bonnie has been putting the recaps of the oracle cards in Our Spiritual Community for quite some time. So if you guys ever wanted to recap what we talked about on the day, you can go check out the card descriptions there. And so if you want to do those group meditations, I think there's 5 between now and the end of October. So it's not every day, but at 8:15 you just show up to the group and you click on the event, and then the live it's a guided meditation. It'll start right at 8:15. I don't think any of them that you picked are more than 20 minutes. They're pretty short. And y'all will meditate together or just hang out in the room while everyone else is meditating. And then there's a chat that's open throughout the whole thing, so you guys can chat and talk. Bonnie says the meetup meditations are in Our Spiritual Community under Meditate. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and Yvonne says, thank you, Bonnie, for doing all you do for us here. I have the best support team. And one of our Jackies, there's like 1,000 Jackies that are here, but Jacqui is another one on my support team. She is helping me with my appointment scheduling system while I'm gone. She and another girl who randomly found me on the internet asking if I was hiring at the same time that I said to the universe that I wanted an assistant. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, Jacqui Price, she's going to help me while I'm gone as well. So thank you, ladies, for being my helpers. I have to start talking about the astrology because we have a lot to get through, and I don't want to run way over today. So, today's my last astrology update until November 1st. So I know the title of this said astrology up until October 23rd, but we're just going to go all the way through the end of October. And I'm only going to touch on the 4 major things that are happening through October because I don't want to overload you guys and make you all confused. But I'm thinking that I'm going to post in our spiritual community after this, like the day-by-day transits that I would talk about on Insight Timer, just so that you guys are aware of like when things are coming conjunct and when planets are squaring each other. I think a lot of you guys have been following me for quite some time, and I feel like you could use your own intuitive astrology skills to feel into like, all right, Mercury is conjunct the sun in Libra. Like, what is Mercury? What is the sun? What does conjunct mean? And what is Libra? So I'm going to put those dates in our spiritual community. I'm not going to throw them out here because it'll be way too much. Cool, Jacqui. She says, thanks for planning to post that. I was going to ask for a source in your absence. All right, so the 4 things we're talking about today. The Libra new moon solar eclipse, which happens this Saturday, October 14th. We're going to talk about Mercury entering Scorpio on October 22nd. Then the sun enters Scorpio the next day on the 23rd. And then there is our Taurus full moon lunar eclipse on October 28th. So those are the 4 things we're going to talk about. Number 1, Libra new moon solar eclipse is coming up on October 14th. This is happening at 12:55 p.m. Central Time. So convert to whatever time zone you are in. And it is going to have the sun and the moon at 21 degrees of Libra. This is considered an eclipse because it is close to the south node of the moon at 24 degrees of Libra. So we have this new moon conjunct the south node, makes it an eclipse. The eclipses in general, so like we're coming into eclipse season. We have the new moon solar eclipse, then we have the full moon lunar eclipse all within 2 weeks. Eclipse season is upon us. Eclipses bring monumental fated change. We've been learning about the nodes of fate here with me on Insight Timer, how we have the north node, which is like our north star, and then always exactly opposite is the south node, which is like karma that's ready to be let go of. So this new moon happens right by the south node. So this is like a new, fresh beginning in regards to letting go of karmic debt. So the south node right now is in Libra, and the south node brings about shadow sides of whatever sign it's in. So this is what we're letting go of. Shadow side of Libra, we are letting go of people pleasing. We are letting go of keeping the peace to your detriment, right? Making yourself small so that everyone else is happy. Gone. It's leaving. We are letting go of having trouble making decisions, being indecisive. That's shadow side Libra. And we are letting go of being nitpicky with the scales, being very tit for tat with the scales. So this upcoming new moon solar eclipse gives you an opportunity to affirm, right? New moon is about making your affirmations, making your intentions. So this is giving you an opportunity to affirm and intend to practice the higher expression of Libra energy. So this new moon, solar eclipse, gives you an opportunity to affirm inner peace, balancing the relationship that you have with all parts of yourself. Libra rules relationships, and everything is a mirror. So your external relationships are all impacted by the internal relationship that you have with yourself. So I suggest making your affirmations for this new moon around having a balanced relationship with all parts of yourself. I feel like that is where it'll start to spiral out to the rest of your life. You got to get right with yourself if you want the world to get right for you, if that makes sense. And then actually, I'll talk about it now. I'm going to have a podcast released while I'm gone. I'm actually going to have 2 podcasts that are going to release while I'm gone. I have to plan them out today. This upcoming Friday, it's going to be a shadow work episode with me and Vicky. Vicky's the podcast co-host. A lot of you guys know her. And then the following Friday, so it'll be after the solar eclipse, but it's still relevant. There's going to be a podcast coming out with me and another astrologer, Max, who I love talking with other astrologers because it's not like an exact written science. It's very intuitive. So he and I discuss the eclipse season. And both of us together have some great insights about this Libra Aries axis with the eclipse. So I highly suggest checking those out while I'm gone. You can find them in my link tree in my Insight Timer bio. But my podcast is on Spotify and YouTube. It's called A Werewolf 444U. A werewolf, like a werewolf 444U. Jackie says, could you repeat that suggested new moon affirmation? I didn't actually say an affirmation, but I'm suggesting that you intend to balance the relationship that you have with all parts of yourself. The light side, the shadow side, the dark side, the great side, all parts of you. The child side, the mature side, balance, inner balance. Hello, Michaela, and hello, Ronnie. Joy, Libra here, and I've been feeling overwhelming change coming, and I need to let go and ride the wild wave. That's surrender, right? That's surrender. It's so beautiful. And yeah, Libra, the South Node right now is moving through your soul. Your sun shines in Libra. It's like it's difficult, but that's okay. I just had it. I just had the North Node on my sun. Anyway, new moon solar eclipse in Libra, bringing inner peace, right? Intending inner peace. And also, this can be a time of intending and affirming to trust natural law, karmic law, allowing and trusting the universe to sort it out and balance it out. Shadow side of Libra, right? South Node in Libra, what we're letting go of is that tit for tat balance. Well, they did X amount of work for me, so I need to do X amount of work for them, or I did X amount of things for them, so I need them to do X amount of things. Just let it go. Let it go and allow the universe to bring it back to you. Because the more you focus on like an exact exchange, it doesn't always work like that. It's not always exact. Sometimes you got to give over here and then you receive from over here. And it's all about balancing inside. I hope that makes sense. That would have been a whole episode. I would have done a whole talk on new moon solar eclipse, but we have 3 more things to talk about. So I'm going to move ahead. Also, this is being recorded and it's going to go on my YouTube channel. So you can search my name on YouTube and re-listen to this. And you might want to, like around the eclipse time, around the 22nd, 23rd, we're going to have Mercury and the Sun moving into Scorpio. So first we'll talk about Mercury entering Scorpio. But let me see who's saying some stuff. Christine says the ahas have already been insightful for me. Darla's settling in. She's like, all right, yeah, we're good. Joy, oh hell yeah. Wendy says Virgo Libra cusp here. Lots of change and healing happening. Definitely letting go of the people pleasing. It's a theme for the collective right now. Jackie, super helpful. I love the aid with setting intention. Cool, glad to help. Good morning, Debbie. The next thing I want to touch on is Mercury entering Scorpio. Mercury enters Scorpio on October 22nd, and he'll be there until November 19th. Mercury is the planet that rules our mind, our thoughts, our communication. Scorpio is fixed water. Scorpio is deep, stable emotion. Holding on to emotion. So if you were with me yesterday, or if you watched the YouTube replay of yesterday's talk, I talked about Mars entering Scorpio. So we dove into Scorpio a little bit. Scorpio is a very intense and investigative sign. So today, Mars is entering Scorpio this afternoon, this evening. So this is bringing us the energy and ambition to investigate. And now at the end of the month, when Mercury enters Scorpio, I feel like this brings us more curiosity, a larger mental capacity to sit with something, sit with an idea, sit with a situation and dig to the bottom of it. Like our minds are getting more involved and it's not just like our gut reaction to want to act. So that's at the end of the month. Also, as Mercury enters Scorpio, so when he's right at 0 degrees, he's making two aspects. So when you look at the chart for when Mercury enters Scorpio, to me it feels like a snapshot of what we can expect the whole time Mercury moves through Scorpio. So the whole time between October 22nd and November 19th, we have Mercury entering, forming a trine to Saturn at 0 degrees of Pisces, harmony from Saturn. And Mercury is also squaring the moon at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which makes some tension. So having Mercury trine Saturn in Pisces, so Saturn has been in Pisces for some time since March, and he wants us to bring some discipline, Saturn discipline, to our spiritual practice, Pisces. That's kind of the theme that we've all been experiencing since March. So now Saturn is offering an assisting hand to Mercury through Scorpio. So it's like Saturn wants to help us investigate and explore our current spiritual practices versus what else might be available. That's how I'm feeling that. Like Saturn wants to regulate, Saturn wants to limit and structure Pisces, your spiritual practice. So he's helping Mercury. He's offering a trine, some good vibe energy to our thoughts to investigate deep down Scorpio into what the hell are we doing every day? What does our spiritual practice look like? Am I doing it just because I'm obligated to do it? Am I doing this because a teacher said I should do it and it worked for them? Does this even work for me? Is there something better that I would vibe with more? So that might be a theme through Mercury and Scorpio. And then as Mercury walks into Scorpio also, he is squaring the moon at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This to me is a little more exciting. It's a little more rare because of how fast the moon moves. The moon moves through a sign in 2.5 days. So it's speedy, speedy, speedy. So the fact that they're exactly square at 0 degrees tells me something. So I was sitting with this. What does this mean? Mercury in Scorpio, square moon in Aquarius. This creates tension between our mind, Mercury, and our emotions, the moon. So throughout Mercury's time in Scorpio, you might feel like tension pulled in two different directions, logic versus emotion. And to go a little bit deeper, this was pretty interesting. We have Mercury in Scorpio, a mental planet in a water sign, and then Moon in Aquarius, an emotional planet in an air sign. So this feels like a true wrestle between your head and your heart. But the wrestle, the tension, is like 5 of Wands energy. If you guys know tarot, 5 of Wands, it's that competition, that conflict, but it's to help, like, it keeps pushing you up. Every time it pushes at you, it's like bringing you higher and higher, closer to enlightenment. So if you do feel this head and heart back and forth, engage. Sit with it. Scorpio, sit with it. Dig to the bottom. What is this all about? Why does my mind want to go this way? Why do my emotions want to go this way? The Scorpio energy wants you to investigate that kind of stuff. Nikki's a November Scorpio. Ronnie is a November Scorpio. Yesterday is on YouTube? Yes, it is, Debbie. Back asleep yesterday. You must have needed it. Person I love is Scorpio. A lot of Scorpios around me. I love Scorpio too. It's so interesting to me. I'm a Taurus, so it's my opposite. So all signs that are opposite, in my opinion, we want the same thing, but we go about it different ways. You're on a spiritual vision quest, Ronnie? Jacqui, May 12th, I have 2 siblings that are both May 12th, but they're from different marriages, like my dad's first marriage and my mom's first marriage. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice. Ninth house stellium, October, Scorpio. Interesting, Nicole. Okay, then we'll talk about the sun entering Scorpio. Scorpio season. And if you're just joining and you're confused about why I'm talking about all this stuff way ahead of time, I'm going to be out of town for the rest of the month. So I'm giving you guys that heads up about what's happening. So we're going a little bit far out. Scorpio season this year starts on October 23rd, and the sun will be in Scorpio until November 22nd. So the sun entering Scorpio, I feel like we're like kind of beating a dead horse at this point. Like we've talked about Mars in Scorpio. We've talked about Mercury in Scorpio. Now that the sun is there, this brings us fully into Scorpio season. So when the sun walks in, we have 3 planets in Scorpio, heavy Scorpio energy in the sky. What I haven't said about Scorpio yet is it's linked to secrets, right? The darkness, what's hiding in the shadows. It's linked to the occult. Jacqui, what did we figure out that the occult, how do you define the occult? Things beyond human comprehension. That's Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is also linked to, magical. Scorpio's magical energy, magical occult. Transformation, death and rebirth. It's the sign of alchemy. Digging things up from the bottom, digging it all up, moving it all around. You know, you got to be down there to dig and play, and then you utilize all the parts of it. Transformation, alchemy, making use of everything. Good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, you make use of it. So as the sun enters Scorpio, it also receives a trine from Saturn. So we talked about Mercury receiving that trine from Saturn. It's assistance, it's a thumbs up, it's support. So the sun may be bringing to light, shining its light on what you've been digging up with Mars and Mercury. The sun might add a little bit of, you know how the sun like illuminates stuff, but then if there's something in the way, it casts the shadow? And if you're down there digging stuff up, you might have dug up some stuff and put it in the way of the sun to create new shadows. You might be seeing new shadows during sun in Scorpio time, Scorpio season. But it's all about what you make it, right? Seems like the world is stirring up Scorpion energy. Yeah, this year it is. Jesse, my moon is in Scorpio. You need that deepness. It's like an emotional need for you. It's a non-negotiable in your relationships. You need to get down there and talk about the dark stuff. I resonate. My moon is in Libra, but it's in the 8th house of my chart, and the 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, so I need that like deep connection. Lastly, for today, we'll talk about the Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. That's not happening until October 28th, which I think is interesting that it's the Saturday before Halloween, And we're having our Halloween party that day. I'm sure a lot of people are having their Halloween celebrations on the day of the lunar eclipse. It's just so like spooky. And we have a Friday the 13th this October. I don't know if you guys have put that together, but this is Friday the 13th on Friday. So on the 28th, we have our Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. It happens at 3:24 p.m. Central Time. This full moon happens at 5 degrees of Taurus. So this means that the sun is at 5 degrees of Scorpio. Full moon is when the sun and the moon are opposite. It is a time of completion. It's closing the cycle, and you can use it as a celebration. So this lunar eclipse is the final eclipse on the Taurus-Scorpio axis for the next 9 years. We had the nodes of the moon enter Taurus and Scorpio about a year and a half ago. So this is like the final celebration to celebrate what you've learned about Taurus themes, your own safety and security, utilizing your skills, right? First validating and then utilizing your skills. And Taurus also rules gathering and using resources, maybe in new, interesting ways. So this is a nice full moon to reflect not only on the last cycle, not only on the last like eclipse season, but all the way back. When did the nodes enter? Let me think about this. January of 22-ish? I think that's when the nodes entered Taurus and Scorpio. So this is a time to celebrate like how far you've come in your Taurus themes, Taurus safety, security, utilizing your skills, gathering and utilizing resources, how far you've come in everything you've learned for the last year and 10 months. At this full moon, the moon is also conjunct Jupiter. So they're a few degrees away in the sky. Jupiter is at 11 degrees of Taurus, 5 moon, 11 Jupiter. Jupiter expands whatever he's by. The moon represents our emotions. So on that lunar eclipse day, the 28th, allow yourself to feel the big joy. Oh, this feels really good. I went to Taekwondo last night. I did so many push-ups. Allow yourself to feel the big emotion of celebration. Jupiter is here to make it bigger, you know? It's, a celebration of the last 18 months. Gosh darn it. Throw a party. Throw a Halloween party. Maybe dress up as, like, your best self. Maybe that'll be your Halloween costume this year. So moon, where are we going? Moon is over here. Moon conjunct Jupiter, big emotions. And this is all opposite of the sun, which is also conjunct Mercury and Mars. It's a very powerful lunar eclipse. There's a lot of planets involved, a lot of opposition, and a lot of conjunction. So the sun is highlighting and shining a light on, its sun is in Scorpio at this point. It's shining a light on themes of codependency that you've left in the past. The South Node was in Scorpio. It's now moved to Libra, but it's closing, right? The sun is shining a light on what we've already left behind of South side of Scorpio. It's codependency. This lunar eclipse to me feels like the final chapter of one of the books, of feeling like you have to rely on others. And there's a difference between knowing like you have to and having the option to and choosing to when it's healthy. So this feels like a celebration of closing out codependency and knowing that you have what you need to get you by, but not that it's not a whole like I have to do it by myself. It's I can do it by myself and I can rely on others, but I don't always have to rely on others. This feels like celebrating a big lesson of knowing that you are enough. You have enough. You have enough skill. You have enough resources in your life. It's a lot of abundance themes within. So that's all I have to say about that. Let me know if you guys have any questions about everything I just talked about, and then we'll get to the cards. And I'll say it again, this is recorded. It's going to be on my YouTube channel if you want to refresh yourself throughout these events, throughout the solar eclipse on the 14th, Mercury ingresses on the 22nd and 23rd, and then the lunar eclipse on the 28th. Awesome, Michelle. She says that was nicely organized. Thanks. Beautiful. Glad to hear. I do my best. Jackie, wow, this gives me a lot of hope. I've been having such a hard time mentally lately. Yeah, Mercury in Scorpio, especially the day of the 22nd. It's coming exactly square to the moon in Aquarius. Like, that might heighten this mental, emotional, be for it. You're there for it. You know it's going to dissipate. You know it's going to dissolve. And sometimes, like, things have to come to a head before it can boil over and, like, simmer down. Wendy, to find me on YouTube, you could just search my name, Jacqui Mancuso. Search it with the Q. I have a pretty, what's it called? Unique name. Diane 108. 108 meditators again. Jackie, oh, I have to warn my family. Ronnie says, fascinating. I look at things too scientifically. Since an astronomer I am. What is too scientifically? That's how you do it, you know? Maybe learning about yourself, learning about your astrology chart, which I do, you can find my website in my Insight Timer bio, by learning about yourself and your natal makeup, it kind of helps you accept parts of yourself that you might be uncomfortable with. I get a lot of, in my personal life, I get a lot of feedback about how, like, snippy I can be, and I'm working on it, you know, but my Mercury is in Aries. My mental capacity, my communication is in the first sign of just, like, get it done, I'm just here to start it, and then you go do it. So learning about yourself, like, maybe you have a placement that calls for you, look, she's dreaming, that calls for you to be scientific, because that's your highest self. I love it. Okay, we are going to pull from two different decks today. The first deck, we're going to use the Moonology Messages Oracle deck to ask, what lessons are we learning this eclipse season? You're welcome, Ronnie. What lessons are we learning this eclipse season? I don't think I mentioned it. Eclipses tend to unfold over, like, the upcoming 6 months-ish. Could be longer, could be shorter, but, like, just as a reference. So I actually have it in my to-do list to go back to the last eclipse season in April and just review, like, my journals, review my card polls, and see, like, what themes were starting then. That helps me review. So you might want to set a reminder for, look at how hard she's dreaming. You might want to set a reminder for next April, when the next eclipse season rolls around, to just reflect on this time of your life and see what was starting. Maybe write down what cards come out today and see how they come to fruition in your life. Yeah, eclipses are like a slow process, but they are huge. Like, the fact that, and I didn't plan this, the fact that I'm going to this 10-day meditation retreat right around eclipse season, right during eclipse season, like, this is going to be a huge one for me. I feel like I just know that there's going to be some huge revelation, and it might not be, like yesterday we talked about those downloads that you receive during meditation. It's not always a conscious, like, whoa, I just learned something big. You know, sometimes it sits, and then it grows and it grows and it grows, and before you know it, it changes your whole perspective. Jackie says, Mercury is in Scorpio. Your Mercury's in Scorpio. Did you get a lot of, did your parents tell you asked too many questions as a kid? Or your teachers? I always do group readings, so feel free to send your energy into this deck. What is this card? Why is this? Oh, they're just upside down. That's okay. I sensed you're going to tap into a powerful stillness. I can't even tell you how excited I am. What lessons are we learning this eclipse season? Nicole's the same. Mercury and Scorpio love questions. Yeah. I will allow 3 cards to fall out of this deck for all of us. And then I ask you to tune into your intuition to see if any of the cards have any stronger messages for you. So just know that the whole reading is for everyone here. The whole reading is for all of us. But if I hold up a certain card and you feel anything change in your physical body, or if you notice anything change in your environment, that is the universe communicating with you, letting you know that that card might have like a special message, or there might be like one sentence in the card description that it answers all of your questions right now. If you don't notice anything change when I hold things up, don't worry about it. The whole reading is for you. There's no need to force your intuition. Yeah, that kind of shuts it off when you expect it to happen, and I know that's difficult to hear. When I was figuring out my intuition, people would say that all the time, and I was like, well, how do I get it if I don't want it to happen? Yeah, you'll all figure it out. Just patience. Hannah says my Mercury is also in Scorpio, and so many questions. Debbie explained a lot of the things that happened in the last year and a half. Interesting. For all of us, you know, like, I love, I don't do it as often as I would like to, but I love using astrology as a reflective tool. Like, I use it very predictively, and that could be all the cardinal energy that's in my chart. I really like to know, like, what's coming, what type of energy is upon us, like, what might happen, and I rarely take the time, I'd like to do it more, to review, like, what happened, what was the astrology, what did I predict, and what actually unfolded. It's fun. Christine, I have Neptune, Jupiter, and the North Node in Scorpio. A lot of Scorpio energy for you, my dear. April, oh, rubbery doggy visiting. Haha, it's amazing how she just becomes the furniture. Makes me smile. Here, I'll move a little bit so you can see her whole body. Jacqui, Mercury, Sun, Uranus, and Venus in Scorpio. Wow, 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 wow. All right, guys. I'll show you the 3 cards. We're asking what lessons are we learning this eclipse season? And then let us know in the chat if any of these resonate more strongly with you. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Thank you for your donation, Jacqui. Much appreciated. I'll show you guys one more time, just in case, but put your numbers in the chat. Card number 1. Card number 2. And card number 3. What lessons are we learning? We've got Jacqui working with 2 and 3, Patty 1 and 2 and 3, Julie 2 and 3, Patty 2, Nikki 3, April 2, Rosa 3, Win 3, Greg all of them, Jessica 1 and 3. I coughed hard out of nowhere on 3. Keep that cough in mind when I read number 3. Bonnie, all. Lori, 1 and 3. Jean, all of them. Lana Rose, 2 and 3. Melissa, all 3 today. Cara, I'm feeling all the cards. Chantel, 2, shivered up my spine. I think that means Darla wants to work with 2 also. Debbie, 1 and 3, light. 2 looks dark. Cool. Sherry, 1 and 2. Christine, heard 2 clicks. Both times you showed the cards, all 3. Interesting. Interesting. All right. She's alert now. She wants to know, what are we learning, guys? She has a southern accent. She's from Arkansas. What lessons are we learning this eclipse season? I can't, sorry, she's just so cute. Card number 1 is Blood Moon, and this brings us courage. This card brings you courage. You're halfway through your current battle, and you have more left in reserves than you think. Be courageous. Humans often struggle with change, but sometimes change is absolutely called for. This may be one of those times. The more you refuse to budge on a situation now, the more painful the outcome may be. Sometimes the brave thing to do is compromise. Keep going and do what it takes, even if you're scared. As long as no one is being harmed, push through and do what you need to do. You're at the end of one cycle and the start of a new one. What you don't willingly release now, if you know it has to go, could be ripped from you. So release your grip on a situation. The idea of blood is often a frightening image. However, blood is also a giver of life. Without it, we wouldn't last long. Your situation is as it should be. Breathe and then keep on going. We are learning how to be courageous this eclipse season. And often the biggest lessons come the hardest of ways, right? Sometimes I feel like I like learning lessons the hard way because it gets it in there. It gets it way deep in there so you know it. This feels like the courage to surrender, the courage to let go of your control on the situation. Oh my gosh, with all that divine feminine energy yesterday, this feels like the courage to literally say, oh my God, South Node in Libra. All right, universe, I allow you to let divine law take over. I allow the universe to usher in karmic law. As long as you know that you're doing the right thing, have the courage to let the universe take it and run with it. That feels real good for me. What do you guys think about card number 1? Preach it, Sherry. I love teaching these kind of things because I'm not perfect at them. I'm also working on these things. And the more I teach it, the more it helps me realize that I need to do this too. If I'm telling everyone else to do it, I need to do it too. Hannah need it. Jessica, so good, deeply resonates. Wendy resonates deeply with me right now, beautiful. All right, can't wait to see what the next 2 bring out as well. Oh, I didn't even realize. I got my moon sleeves. This is good things are coming. With the butterflies and the moons and everything. Hi, Thomas. Nice to see you. We're just about to read card number 2, asking what lessons we are learning during this eclipse season. Greg, definitely need to remember I have the courage. I forget so easily. Joy says Archangel Ariel energy is courageous. Cool. Learning. Card number 2. What lessons are we learning this eclipse season? This brings us the moon's wisdom. And the message is to take the lead. Isn't that an eclipse on the right? But no, I mean it's like 2 suns, but that looks like an eclipse to me. Sometimes you just need to stand up for yourself, and this is one of those times. The sad truth is that in your current situation, if you continue to act like an ingenue? I-N-G-E-N-U-E. What is that? If you continue to act like one of those, or someone who feels less than, there are certainly people who will exploit their power or authority over you. They do this because they have their own insecurities and they are trying to make themselves feel more powerful. So what to do? You need to take the lead here to show the world that you're in control of yourself and whatever is happening around you. Step up and take authority. Be the boss. What do you need to do to turn this situation around in your favor? Do that. If you feel that there's nothing you can do, then you're not trying hard enough. Tough love. If you can't take practical steps, work on the situation energetically instead. Do this via meditating and seeing what your higher self tells you, creating a vision board, or creatively visualizing the outcome you seek. Believe in you. Wow. Take the lead on your own path, your own journey, your own healing. Again, South Node Libra, stop people pleasing. Stop making yourself small so that everyone else is comfortable. Who's going to make you comfortable? Who's ever going to make you comfortable? You. It's your job. It's a lot easier than you think it is once you start doing it. Put yourself first, and it's okay. It's not selfish. I can't say it enough. Ingenue. If you continue to act like an ingenue or someone who feels less than, why are you less important than the other people? Why does everyone else deserve happiness before you deserve happiness? Ask yourself that. Debbie says, wow, Melissa, yes, this is my work life. Ugh. The more you take care of yourself, I'm telling you, literally, your world starts to appear more beautiful. Because it's not that, no one else is doing anything to you. It's just that their actions are triggering unhealed shit inside of you. Heal yourself. Heal the world. Nothing is good or bad. Nothing. Christine, oh wow, this one hits my situation currently. Yeah. Where are you? Greg says, wow, yeah, Debbie needs to stop people pleasing. So here's another way of looking at this too, because as I was saying, I was giving some advice about this card and I was like, stop doing this, stop doing that. I used to be a teacher and we had a way of creating our classroom rules that were positive based. Like if you tell people, don't do this, stop doing this, you're still giving energy to this. So how can we flip that? Instead of stop people pleasing, it's time to take the lead. It's time to put myself first. It's time to get my needs met. And at first, it's gonna feel selfish because it's uncomfortable, but it's not. You are your own main character in your story. You're the main character of your story. Taking care of yourself, putting your needs first, literally allows your energy to just take care of everyone else without effort. You don't have to try. Hannah, wow, I can see why I was drawn to this one. Julie, bingo for me. Chantel, oh my God, resonates deeply. I communicated with my past granny earlier, and this is exactly what she said. More confirmation I need to do this. Yeah, Jackie, say no to others and say yes to yourself. Just because you say no to other people doesn't mean you're going to say no every single time. If you literally do not have extra to help in that moment, that's okay. Always felt that way. April, my meditation partner and I meditated before this today, and both our cards so link in with our work and messages we got before. Beautiful. Yeah, Christine, I know I'm still a teacher. I meant like a public school classroom teacher. You're welcome, Debbie. Thomas, I braved sending an email asking to work with a small peer support work group. Awesome. It's what you need. That's great. Sherry, so what are some ways to do that make a huge difference? To do what? To put yourself first? What are some ways to put yourself first? A lot of it can be when people ask you to do something. Tuning in and like stopping for a second and asking, like, is this benefiting me? Or like, am I able to do this right now? If it's going to be depleting you, if it's going to be running you too thin, spreading yourself too thin, say no. It's anytime someone asks a question, and this is like, I'm trying to teach this to the people that I ask questions of, and learn it for yourself. Whenever someone asks a question, it's an invitation. It's not an expectation. Or, you know, if it feels like an expectation, that's like shadow stuff that can be healed and all that. But when someone asks you, are you able to do this? It's literally the option. You have two options. You could say yes, or you could say no. Or you can say not right now. And the more you do that, right, like it feels really icky and you might feel guilty at first, but it feels so empowering to know that you are worth your time and your energy. I already forgot how to say that word, Ronnie. Ingenue is from Latin ingenus, upright, candid, and freeborn. Upright, candid, freeborn. Debbie said no for something this weekend, was feeling guilty. Work through the emotions, because you consciously know that it's the right thing to do, right? You know that it's the highest expression of yourself is to put yourself first. The feelings are just like trying to block you from it. The guilt is just there to block you from it. Like, sit with the guilt. Why do I feel guilty? When have I felt guilty in the past? When in my childhood was I taught to feel guilty about putting myself first? Shadow work. Podcast episode coming out this Friday. Shadow work. Jean, take deliberate phone breaks, since social media is all about other people's energy, often negative and braggy. I feel like braggy is on social media. Greg, remember, if you do what's best for you, it will be what's highest and best for all involved. Trust that this is true. 100%. 100%. I think the less you put yourself first, the more it might feel selfish, because you feel like you're putting yourself above everyone else. How do I want to say this? It's not coming out the right way. Because there are selfish people in the world who put themselves first and they put other people down. But there's a difference. You can still put yourself first, but still have care for the other people. And also, I don't want to go off on this huge tangent. I want to get to card number 3. All right, card number 3. What lessons are we learning during this eclipse season? Thank you, Debbie. She said I said that well. What else are we learning during this eclipse season? Card number 3 is Moon Maybe, and this is intuition. 9 times out of 10, this deck will give you a straight answer. But sometimes you'll get this card. Perhaps a little frustratingly, it firmly informs you that there is no real need for you to ask your question, because you already know the answer, at least deep down. So take a moment now to close your eyes and breathe. Turn inward. Feel your energetic body around you. What does your intuition tell you about your situation? Any feelings that come up now should feel neutral. True intuition isn't emotionally charged. When you draw this card, you're being asked to think less about logic and more about what you're feeling in your heart and gut. Your feelings will never misguide you. Some people consider intuition to be some kind of cosmic thing. The fact is, however, that it's not really cosmic, it's normal. Nearly all truly successful people know when their intuition's trying to tell them something, and know how to ignore their intuition at their peril. So dig deep. before you try another card instead, what is your intuition telling you here? Maybe this eclipse season is here to help us trust our intuition. Trust when we know, yep, it's time to put myself first. Yep, it's time to surrender and let the universe take care of this. I feel like it's usually the mind that gets in the way when we have these urges. Like, we know that it's the right thing to do, but we've been taught to critically think about everything, which sometimes is great, but our intuition is very, very strong and it wants us to thrive. Our intuition is our highest self. So this eclipse season might bring you maybes. It might bring you unanswered, unclear things. But it's all to help you trust your intuition. April and Michelle, thank you guys for your donations. I appreciate them. Ronnie says, wow, I have been researching the word intuition from Spiritual Truth. Yes, heart, gut, etc. Not mental. True intuition isn't emotionally charged. Michelle, yeah, that's true. Yeah, when I'm trying to sit with like my intuition, when I know it's my intuition, it feels like a peace. It feels like, yeah, duh. It's not excitement. It's not like, ooh, yay, this is what I'm doing. And it's not like, sometimes it is like, oh, damn it. But it's never like sad or it's never like ecstatic. It's usually just a neutral peace. Thomas, be patient. Put my wants and desires out there. True taking the lead. No rush. Love it. I love that. We're going to pull one more card from one more deck. Sorry, I was reading some comments. We're going to pull one more card from one more deck. So that first little spread was about eclipse season, which we're coming into. And then we also today talked about Mercury and the Sun entering Scorpio. So we're going to pull from the Animal Apothecary Oracle card, asking what does Scorpio energy want, how does Scorpio energy want to serve us? Mars is walking into Scorpio later today. Excuse me. So Mars, Mercury, and Sun, how does Scorpio energy want to serve us? One final culminating card. Excuse me. Feel free to send your energy into this deck. Thank you, Thomas, for your donation. That coffee is ice cold. Thomas says, getting chill. Always my goal. Taurus in me and Leo ascending. Lion wants to rest. The lazy lion. Oh, so much fixed, Thomas. All right, how does Scorpio energy want to serve us? From now until November 1st. This is a message from now until November 1st, at least. If not, throughout all of Scorpio season until the end of November. How can us Scorpios help ourselves? If you've been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated, never expected. If you haven't followed me yet on Insight Timer, you might consider doing that so that you can stay updated when I post my upcoming classes, which are starting again November 1st. If you are not in our group, our spiritual community, I suggest joining that for a few reasons. Bonnie puts the card recaps in our spiritual community so you can go back and review. Bonnie is also hosting some group meditations at our normal meeting time while I'm gone for the next few weeks. And those can be found in our spiritual community under like the meditation tab. And then I am also going to be posting the other transits that are happening in the sky from now until November 1st. I apologize. I don't have time to describe the transits. I'm just going to post what's happening. Yeah, our spiritual community, Ronnie, it's an Insight Timer group. You can find it by going into my Insight Timer profile. And it should be right there. Just click on it and you're in. And what else? In my Insight Timer profile also, you can find my link tree that has all my links in it. You can sign up for my email list. You can find my YouTube channel there, my TikTok, my Facebook. My podcast is linked in there. I have 2 episodes coming out this Friday and next Friday. The first one is about shadow work. Me and my podcast partner, Vicky, talk about how we've done shadow work and what we like about it and advice about it and just what the heck is shadow work. And then next Friday is an episode with me and another astrologer talking about this eclipse season a little bit more in depth than what we've talked about here. Wow. I opened right to the page for this card. Thank you, Lynn, and thank you, Jacqui, for your donations. Much appreciated. How does Scorpio energy want to serve us? You still here, Thomas? It's in you. Card number 24 from the Not So Cowardly Lion. I just love this. In the story of The Wizard of Oz, the Cowardly Lion traveled the yellow brick road to get to the Emerald City to request what his heart most longed for. Courage. Little did he know that during his entire frightening journey, he already possessed that which he sought so desperately. For in his heart there roared a courage that was always his to claim. The Cowardly Lion needed the outer journey to understand that what he most desired was always within. I'm like about to cry. What you seek, you too have in you. Do not give up the journey. Persevere and endure the uncertainty. Remember that having courage does not mean that you are fearless. It means that you do the thing despite being scared. Cowardly Lion, who now has transformed into Confident Lion, shares his medicine with these questions. What if everything you've been searching for is not only right in front of you, but it is in you? What if everything you've been chasing outside of yourself was the part of you that you couldn't see within? What if you were looking in others to find the you that was screaming to be self-actualized? What if every beautiful quality you deeply want, you already possess? What if the swept off your feet love is your own love within reflected back to you? What if the gift you have been waiting to actualize was crying out, I'm here, I'm right here, please, please, please see me? What if this whole time it was you that you were searching for? What if you chose you and stopped waiting for others to choose you? What if you stopped running toward external validation to prove your worth and instead went within and became yourself? This is the perfect card right now. It's all within you. We started this talking about South Node, Libra, solar eclipse, new moon, getting right with the relationship within yourself. Your external world is reflected on what you feel about yourself inside of yourself. Courage to let go and trust the universe. Allow the universe to serve karmic law, natural law. Allowing yourself to take the lead and put yourself first. Because when you put yourself first, that's when you can find all the things that you want, because they are within you. But if you keep putting other people first, you're never going to find you. You're just going to keep searching out there. Stop searching out there. South Node Libra. North Node Aries. Yourself. Aries is the self. Aries is the ego. Aries is the identity. It's time to put yourself first. Great wrap-up card to bring it all together. The more you know yourself, the stronger your intuition becomes. The deeper you develop the relationship with all parts of yourself, the stronger your intuition is. Because when you have shadow parts of yourself that you haven't healed yet, when you have guilt about things that you've done or things that have happened to you, or shame or regret, when you're holding on to those things, that's like your ego goes to it. When you're trying to make a decision, your ego, your mind, goes to the shadows and it goes to the regret and it goes to, I don't want to make that happen again. I don't want to make that choice. You're a bad person if you do that. Heal that shit, right? Because nothing is good or bad. We all evolve, we all change, we all grow. So the more you heal your shadow and get to know all parts of yourself, then your intuition can speak more strongly because it doesn't have to go through the filter of shame. It doesn't have to go through the filter of regret or guilt. It just comes. It's deep in there. And it all starts with just getting to know yourself and loving yourself. Bonnie, Jessica, Christine, thank you guys for your donations. I appreciate them so much. Let's see what you guys were talking about. Erica, dang, how late am I? This is all going to be on YouTube, so please go watch it on YouTube. Christine, now I'm getting emotional with you. That was a moving reading. That was a very moving reading. Jacqui, intuition is within us all as well. Confident lion can take the lead. Yeah. For yourself. Take your own lead. Thomas says, yes, chills, emotions moving. Patty, wow. Bonnie, my sankalpa during meditation last night was to stop chasing, to start attracting. April, yeah, I know this is for me too. That's why I'm crying. This is like the perfect spread for me to go on a 10-day silent meditation retreat. It's all in me. Anything I've ever been looking for is all in me. And I'm choosing to put myself first, to take 10 days for myself to find it. That's why I'm so emotional. Because it's just perfect. It's so validating. Melissa, I came here for that message. There's so many chats. Christine, I want that card to read every day to remind myself. I'll send you the picture. I'll text it to you. Jacqui, man, what a card. I feel so called out, but in the best way, right? Chantel, beautiful. I'm nearly crying with you. Let it out. Let your emotions out. Oh my gosh. I cried for a long time on Monday. I spent some time with myself on Monday too. Cried a lot. Felt great that night. Thank you, Nicole, for your donation. Thomas, no filter. Allow pride. There is a way to do healthy pride. Pride doesn't have to be shadow. Wendy, wow, I knew this. I just yesterday put a pause on social media to go inward more and rediscover my inner love. This is validation. Thank you, Nicole. Sherry, I started bawling too. Yeah. April, I thought about that. Yay. Bonnie, peace. Jacqui, you're heading out on a high, Jacqui, for us all. Yeah. My healing is your healing, and vice versa. Your healing is my healing. We're all one. We're all connected. Like, just, ugh. This is so great. I'm so happy to have this community here. I'm very grateful that you guys hang out and you receive. You allow yourself to receive what I'm here to give, and vice versa. It goes both ways. You guys are so knowledgeable. You're so wise. I love the stuff that you guys share in the chat. Like, you help me understand myself, and I hope I help you understand yourself. Chandra, it's perfect. So proud of you for putting yourself first. Thank you. There is the guilt that comes from it. A little bit. A little bit. Because I've tried to accept that, like, no, I need to put myself first. My most guilt comes from these guys. I have 3 dogs, and I'm just like, ugh, they're not going to know where I am. My husband will figure it out. He'll be fine. Chantel, thank you very much, Jacqui. Leaving here feeling peaceful. Have an amazing time with yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Thomas says, I like what you said, Jacqui, about remember the fear is still in there. the lack of confidence might still be in there. Be brave for us, me, you. Yeah, confidence isn't letting go of fear. It's holding the fear and moving forward with it. Erica, love that card too. Can you email the pic and the words? It is going to be in our spiritual community. Oh, is that Erica? Wait. Yes, I have your email, Erica. Is it? No, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry. It's going to be in our spiritual community where Bonnie puts all the card updates. She's really good at like putting the whole thing there too. Thank you, Joy, for your donation. I appreciate it. Yes, that card description will go in our spiritual community. Bonnie says, in Chinese medicine, this time of year is associated with guilt. That theme was here. Let go of guilt and fill those new spaces with love. I have a meditation in my tracks on Insight Timer. It's called Releasing Guilt and Regret, I think. It's Bonnie's favorite meditation of mine. It's the most like laid back, me just being me, not scripted. But it helps you go back and forgive yourself for a time that you made a mistake. And that is actually one of the ones that, Bonnie added to our live meditations. I think that one's on Halloween, I feel. I will be there for 2 of the meditations. I'm just taking time away from teaching on Insight Timer, but I will be there for I think the 25th and the 31st. I'm able to join you guys. Nancy, I'm going on a Vipassana meditation retreat. I'm putting it in the chat. Vipassana is an ancient Indian meditation technique. There are Vipassana retreat centers all over the world, so just do a Google search and see where there might be one near you. Thank you, Jackie. Chandra. Absolutely, it's not an easy task. I'm in that place too. Greg, I'm feeling so much love for you all after this reading. Thank you for everyone's vulnerability. Thank you. Letting go says stay out of the fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. Oh my gosh, I love that. I think I'm going to try to use that while I'm gone. My guilt going away is always about leaving my 3 cats. Yeah, you do on the list, but I will look there. I'm just nervous to commit to too many things because I still have a lot to do to get myself prepared to leave in a few hours. I don't even know where I'm going. I haven't even Googled the address yet. I know I've been there before. I have an idea of where it is. I don't even know what time I have to leave yet. I'm all over the place right now. Bonnie, dogs don't have a good sense of time. It will be a blip. They also can't hold negativity. I know they can't hold negativity, but like, we're so routine here. I'm just nervous that they're going to be like, why isn't mom in the bed right now? Why isn't mom in her room right now? That's the one we're doing together. Oh, yeah. Joy says, without a doubt, you're going to be cracked wide open during your retreat, and your magnificent light will be shining even brighter. Thank you. I know it's going to be awesome. This eclipse season, if you guys are still here, cool. If not, like, I'm just going to babble for a second, and then I do need to go. But just so that you guys can learn about me, I guess. This eclipse season is very personal for me, and I'm just very excited about the changes that are unfolding. I've mentioned this to 2 different astrologers, and both of them, independent of each other, they were like, oh, that's so beautiful. And I just thought that was interesting that that was their take on it. But the Libra eclipse is a few degrees away from my moon, and the Taurus eclipse is 1 degree away from my sun. So this is like a huge eclipsey sun and moon whole thing for me, and it's like so much energy that I can't even describe. And this, actually, if you guys have been following me for some time, you might remember if I talked about it here months ago. I got so excited to go on a retreat, a different retreat. Molly McCord is hosting, she's an astrologer, she's hosting a solar eclipse retreat in Mexico. And I was so excited to sign up for this thing. I heard about it on her podcast, and then the next day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit with this. I'm going to sleep on this, and then the next day I'm going to sign up. And it was for this solar eclipse that's happening right by my moon. And I'm like, this is huge. I get to go watch it in Mexico with this awesome astrologer and all these people who are interested in astrology. And I went to go sign up and it was sold out the next day. And I was like, this means something. And now look where I'm going. If I was going on that retreat, I wouldn't be able to be doing this Vipassana retreat at the same time. So everything always works out. How far is it, Bonnie? It's about an hour away, an hour or two. Sophia, how do you feel about the 100 hours of meditation in 10 days? I feel very called to go to Vipassana, but the physical part seems like the psychological part, the physio part. So I've been here before. I went to the Vipassana retreat in 2017. I left on day 5, and it wasn't because of the meditation. The meditation was great. You just get into your little groove. You just get into your little flow. You wake up at 4:30 and meditate for 2 hours. Oh, the sitting. I bought a chair. I bought a meditation chair. It was like $40, I think, $50 on Amazon. And it's one of those that like it opens all the way up and then it click, 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 click to however high you want to put it. So I bought that. The last time I went though, I didn't use a chair. I was 25, so I wasn't old yet. I'm still not old. But I don't remember being in pain, but they do, like, you can bring your own chair. They have chairs available. They have blankets and pillows so you can support yourself. It's all about using the props. But, yeah, the meditation part was awesome. You just get into your little flow and you're there and you're, you know, if you can sit with yourself. I don't know, it was fun. I left early because I had a download. And from what I remember, that was my first ever download. And the download was a 5-point plan about how I'm supposed to date this guy and buy a house and get married and get dogs and make babies. And now I'm married to that guy. So it was like a very powerful whoosh. So yeah, it wasn't like the meditation that made me leave. I actually really enjoyed it. But I had to go make a decision about my life. Thomas, my cats, my dogs, were you asking Christine? Oh, we have a friend that stays at our house if we both go out of town, but my husband's here. Water, you are truly a blessing to yourself and us. I wish bliss for you because that is what you bring us. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of you guys too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I've heard the not talking is painful. It's my favorite. I sometimes like hate talking. Hate. That's just me. It'll be really nice. I know I'm not old, Ronnie. It's a joke. This will resonate with Jacqui for sure. Christine says, I've only done a weekend silent retreat, and it was lovely but very difficult for me. You go, girl. I love this for you. Me too. Wait, the meditation and it came to you about your husband? Okay, here's the story, and then I have to go. I'm going to tell the story, and then I'm out of here. January of 2017, I met my husband on the internet. We tried the dating thing, and then he was trying to push me away, and he's like, no, we're just friends. We're just friends. And I was like, all right, whatever. So we were just friends. Then I went to Vipassana, and it was on day 5, and it wasn't during one of the meditations. It was during like one of the walking times. You get to take breaks and walk. And I was sitting by a tree in a place where I wasn't supposed to go. Surprise, surprise. Rebel Jacqui found a hill and would like go escape from the little retreat center to get away from everyone. And I was sitting there reflecting on my previous breakup. Like 6 months prior, I broke up with a guy that I had been with for 5 years. It was a long relationship. And this day happened to be the dog's birthday of the relationship that I left. And I gave him the dog. So I was just reflecting on this dog. And then at the time, I used to describe it as I had a thought that wasn't my own thought. Like, do you ever have a thought that you didn't think, but it's in there? So I just got this. Step 1, get better jobs. Step 2, buy a house. Step 3, get dogs. Step 4, get married. Step 5, make babies. And it was just so clear. And it was like, I needed to act on it. It wasn't an option. Like, it was so strong. I wasn't supposed to wait 5 more days before I did this. It was like a knowing, like, I have to go do this right now. So I talked to the people. They tried to ask me to stay, obviously, because they wanted me to learn the technique and, like, get the full benefit from the meditation. And I was like, no, I need to go. I'm putting myself first. I have the courage, you know, because to trust my intuition. I was like, I have to go. And I did, and I left. And I went home first to, like, take a shower. And then I went to his house and I told him the 5-point plan. And he said, oh, so does that mean that you're my girlfriend now? And I said, yeah. And now we're married. And we got better jobs. We got a house. We got 3 dogs. We got married, and we're working on the baby part. So, do you believe it was an awakening? I don't know if that was, like, that's a great question. You can call it an awakening. It was a download that I trusted, and I knew that I was supposed to follow it, and I didn't know why. My awakening happened in 2020. That's when I had a huge 90-degree turn. Okay, thank you guys for listening to my story. I need to go. Thank you for being here with me. I will be back on November 1st. Hang out in our spiritual community. Bonnie is running the ship while I'm gone. And yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Take care. Thank you for everything today. Sending love to all. Namaste. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for letting me share.